When I heard all those things, that was my third prayer request to the God. I said, like, I want, when I reach home, I want Him to be there at the gate to welcome me. That was my request. That was the fourth request. Sounded pretty crazy, silly. I knew at that point, I mean, back in my mind, and my other part of my conscious mind was saying, no, you are asking something impossible. They were carrying him back, and you are asking, you are leaving in a day, and you are saying you want him to be there to welcome you. You want him to read the newspaper with you, you want him to have food with you. And these are all pretty, sounds crazy. And so all these four requests I put to God. I left the home here in Augusta, and maybe like after 26 hours, there I am in Chennai. From Chennai to my home is 2.5 hours car ride. So I was going alone on the car with the cab guy, and I was reaching home. Sisters and brothers, this is pretty impossible thing that you may want to hear now. I was reaching home, and I was coming out of the car, and my brother is standing right there in the gate.
Wow.
And I said, like, okay, so maybe something else is also going to happen then. So I was giving a hand to him, and then I was taking him back to the room, and he was sitting there. And one day gone, 2 days gone, and then we all discussed, okay, we need to take him to a different hospital. So we took him this time. We went to another big time hospital, Apollo Hospital. We put him on the heart. He was able to walk a little bit, and we went there, and they said, yeah, the lungs is kind of expanded to the danger level. So they were giving the medicines, everything. And because of his, he was intubated, he lost his voice too. So he could not even understand what he was talking. Pretty low, like the baby voice. And he could not even understand what he was saying. So we used to make a sign language with him on those 2 days. So we went to that hospital. ENT specialist took a look at him, and they went for like X-rays, scanning, blood report, all kind of things. ENT specialist took a look at it, throat and tongue, because the tongue was like pretty big because of the biting happened. And the lung specialist, he was looking at the X-rays and scanning and the blood report, and also since he was like 35 kgs underweight, they thought he might be having a tuberculosis. So they even went for that experiment as well, and all those came negative. But the liver was damaged extensively, and they said, yeah, he cannot have the regular food. You got to be careful, and they gave all the medicines. They really need to wait for 30 days. But the doctor, the ENT doctor said, there may be a possibility he may not get the voice back because it was pretty damaged. The vocal cords are pretty damaged. But days later, I was there only for a week. Okay, and the third day, we got a newspaper. Okay, and he went outside to pick up the newspaper, and he gave a portion of the newspaper to me. My mom brought the tea. Okay,
Amen.
And he was sitting next to me, and he was reading the newspaper, and I was reading the newspaper, and he started discussing about the cricket. That I think that was the day India was playing against some country. So he was talking about cricket. I was not able to believe for a second. Couple of seconds I was passed, and then he was like, "Hey, what happened?" Because he was shaking. He knew for sure I was not able to understand what he was talking. So he thought I'm not listening to him, but I was stunned. I was passed for a moment. This is the second request I asked, and that's happening right there. He's reading the newspaper along with me and having a cup of tea, and it just put me back my olden days, my child days, where we did not worry about anything. We fight for the small things. We go and play all those things. Then next day, my mom was making a breakfast for us, and it's one of those Italy, if you all remember that. He was eating the same food what I was eating. This is what I can probably say, like, if you put a faith, okay, I mean, I'm not sure I'm the right person to say that, but if you put a faith, and you will get it. I'm not baptized yet, okay, so Jesus don't have to listen to me. And I'm not a full Christian yet. My name is still different. And I still carry all those old identities with me. But he listened to me. So these things happen. So 2-3 requests so far, whatever I was asking done. And then I was telling my family, no, you'll be fine. Then I was talking, then I carried a Bible with me. I mean, this is Bible always in my laptop bag, always. But I also carried a small Bible that I got it from Selvin Church. Then I put the Bible underneath his pillow. And I told my mom and my brother. I was really hesitating to tell my mom because she was Orthodox. I said like, Mom, I'm putting this Bible underneath this pillow. Don't ever take it. Just leave it there. And that is the pillow he's always using to sleep. So I said, if he's changing the pillow, if he is changing the room, make sure this Bible goes with them, right? And she's like, fine. And then she was asking, so you are not doing anything, our own thing? I was like, no, I'm not. I said, I'm going to the church, and I do prayer every time, and I told her that Jesus is the one who saved your son. Amen. This is what she said. Okay, this is unbelievable again. She said like, yeah, you have a heart to change, but it's too tough for me right now. And she agreed that, yeah, whatever I was doing for 36 years or 40, 50 years, that did not help me. She agreed and accepted that. Then I said like, that's fine. And I said, that's absolutely fine. I told her, hereafter, please send Gopi to church, at least once a week, to the nearby church. And I told my mom and my brother, Gopi, I said like, I want Jesus' picture to be here in this hall. I can put it. Definitely I can go and get one and put it. But I want you guys to do it with your own hand. You don't have to do it right now. You take your own time. Okay, but you tell me when you did that. So, until I was leaving, they did not do it, that's fine. And then I asked Gopi, before the day I was leaving my home back to the States, I said like, do you mind come with me to the church? He was a person, he was more than Orthodox me. I mean, I was a person sometimes, like, I always like, I allowed Christian people to come and to do the prayer at our house and singing with them, go to the church, I always doing it, but I was still doing all this, my own religious. But my brother was not like that. I mean, he was Orthodox more than my mom. The moment I asked, he's like, sure. Then he was walking with me into the church. That's the CSA church. My wife and I used to go there once in a while. It's a pretty big church. And he was coming with me, and I was doing prayer, and he was standing with me. Then I said, like, God, here I am. I'm handing over my brother to you. Keep him. Keep him in your word. I want to see, when he's coming out of your word, I want to see there are people like him who will be benefited, and he will let them out. And I want that life. When I come back, when I see him again, that is what the life I want to see with them. Then I left. Maybe a week later, after I reached here, my mom said, hey, Gopi brought the Jesus picture. Oh. And you put it in the hall. It's right there in the hall. Amen. And I said like, awesome, thank you. I said like, great. Then I asked Gopi, did you go to the church? He said like, yeah, I don't know really what has to do there. Because he never been to the church. I used to go to the church in India. But he has no clue. So he said like, I don't know what I have to do there. I said like, you just go there. Every Sunday, just listen. You don't have to pray. You don't have to do anything. Just look at the people and see what they are doing and try to do the same thing. He's like, yeah, I'll definitely go. And so that's the whole thing. And then every time my mom said like, yeah, he's not speaking. You cannot even understand what he's talking. And then I put another request to God. I said, within 2 weeks, I want him to get the voice back. This is what happened in a week and a half, I think. One day I called him, and I cannot believe he was talking with his own voice. Wow. He is vocal than before. He's talkative than before. and he is leading his life in Cana.